stone. Coop pulled Marius by his trench coat, the way a coach tugs a quarterback into a sideline huddle. He eyed his gaggle of 20 men and gathered his 5 nearest rangers, who were cleaning their M1 Garand rifles and licking the inside of combat ration cans, commonly known as C-rats. "Special mission, men. Let's go," he said. They reassembled their weapons and grabbed their gear without complaint. They had survived the climb up Pointe du Hoc, and most likely considered themselves invincible, or lucky, or both. Coop tucked in behind Marius, who hurried them along a trail that kept the assault on Utah Beach to their immediate rear and right flank. Marius's shoes didn't seem to be an impediment as Coop and his men began running to keep up with the worried Frenchman. "Rapide! Rapide!" Marius whispered over his shoulder, loud enough for the men to hear. It was the second night of the invasion. Coop and his men had been operating continuously. Artillery rained down. Naval ships bombed the coast without precision. Machine gun fire chattered. Lead pinged off thousands of landing craft in Seine Bay, which fronted Normandy Beach, sounding like a symphony from hell. Following a drainage gully from north to south, Marius led Coop and his team to a small shelter. Stemming from the outbuilding was a worn path to the town. By now, Coop could hear shrieks louder than any artillery explosion or rifle fire. The plaintive cries of women and children became his beacon in the night. Coop grabbed Marius by the shoulder and said, "We've got it from here." Marius pointed at a group of German soldiers herding women and children into the basement of a French farmhouse situated on a sloping ridge. The box frame of the house fronted the high ground, while the backside offered a generous bottom level dug into the terrain. One of the Germans near the cellar door was holding a jerry can filled with gasoline. "Follow me, men," Coop said to his rangers. Coop and his men charged the German troops, who were shouting, "Tod durch Feuer! Tod durch Feuer!" Death by fire, death by fire. Coop fired his M1 Garand rifle until he ran out of ammunition. His teammates provided cover for one another as they took turns charging the Germans. Coop led the assault and stuck his bayonet in the man by the basement door. Another German soldier held the petrol can and a lighter, which he tossed into the doorway leading to the basement just as Coop rammed the butt of his rifle into the man's face. The flame ignited, burning red and yellow against the angry black sky. Screams pierced the night as Coop ran into the blazing inferno toward the prisoners inside. 2. Present day. I closed my grandfather's World War II combat diary, the ink diffused by tears, the pages covered in dark stains I took to be blood. I ran my finger across the worn cover where he had drawn in pencil the Ranger patch rhombus, a square turned on a point. The pencil had traced and retraced the 4 sides, as if he had been deep in thought when sketching. Holding the leather-bound tome in my manacled hands, as if in prayer, I looked up when the guard rattled her baton between the bars of my cell. "Let's go, Sinclair," Sergeant Robin Callis said. "Going to see the big guy." I slid the diary beneath my mattress and walked with Callis's baton in my back through the Byzantine maze of new and old construction until I was standing in the warden's office, looking through his panoptic window. The winter sun hung low behind the khaki-colored cornfields, stalks severed and broken. A metaphor for something, I thought. Perhaps the state of the country, or even the world. The warden's view looked down upon the prison yard, the razor wire stretching between the guard towers and the bluffs of the Missouri River. The sun's muted, fading hues cast a diminishing glow across the acres of frozen penitentiary land the inmates tended in the spring under the watchful eyes of snipers. "Inmate Sinclair, why do you think you're still under my charge?" Warden